This video is all about the truth. The truth about your potential. The truth about your power. The truth that your life is ultimately a theater for personal greatness, and each of your days a platform for mastery. The real question is not, can you rise up to iconic and live a life that makes history? My true question is, will you? And if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? When I was growing up, my father posted a poem on a refrigerator so my brother and I could read it before we went off to school each morning. I've never forgotten what the words of that poem said. Spring is past, summer is gone, and winter is here. And the song I meant to sing remains unsung, for I have spent my days stringing and unstringing my instrument. As I got older, I asked my dad, always a source of great wisdom in my life, "Dad, what was that poem all about?" He replied, "That's easy, Robin. That was a poem written by a man whose heart was filled with regret over a life half lived. It was a poem about a man who was always getting ready to sing the great song that his life was meant to be, but he got busy being busy, so his potential died within him." You and I live in a world where it has become so easy to spend the best hours of our finest days being busy being busy. We live in the age of dramatic distraction. Too many of us suffer from broken focus syndrome. Rather than dedicating ourselves to pursuing mastery, expressing more of our talent, building a life that amazes people, and doing our part in the construction of a brighter world, we waste our days surfing the net, watching too much TV, gossiping, complaining, and playing video games. But I suggest to you with great respect that nothing will so break your heart than getting to the last hour of your final day and realizing that you gave your gifts to things that don't matter. And I also suggest that at the end, when you survey how you've lived, what will be most important will come down to two main pursuits. Number one, who did you become? In other words, did you fully develop your power, potential, and talents to rise to your personal greatness? And number two, did you leave the world better than you found it by being so astonishingly good at what you do that you inspired all witnesses, as well as pouring value into the world that you feel completely proud of? Look, I get you're different. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with me right now, making the time to experience this video that I've worked so hard to make ever so special and valuable for you. And this video will be a game changer for you in terms of beating an unbeatable mindset, unleashing your greatest potential, becoming the most productive person you know, and creating rare air levels of enduring success. So fasten your seatbelt, commit to watching the video right to the end, and stay open to the ideas, insights, and transformational tactics that it's my privilege to share with you. Well, the real starting point in our work together is to have the guts in this very moment to let go of all you were so you can become someone even better, stronger, and faster. Because your contribution, income, performance, and results always reflect your self-identity, along with the way you see your place in the world. Your daily behavior always broadcasts your deepest beliefs. So, I encourage that you forget the chattering voices of your limits and the hollow echoes of all cynics that have kept you small. Dispel the disbelievers and block out the naysayers who have stifled your passion and taught you to follow the herd. And remember that just because you may have not lived a life that inspires people yesterday doesn't mean you can't step into the highest version of your greatest vision today. The real truth is that your doubts are liars. Your fears are thieves. The deepest and best part of you knows that you were born into genius, built to wow, designed to win. The wisest and strongest part of you gets that life is short, your days are numbered, your time to shine is now. The smartest part of you understands that your private story about your potential determines whether you live it or leave it, and that your natural state is a flight from failure and a tendency to astonish. And that massive success is less about hope and coincidence and more about your strategy, your habits, and your daily choices. You know that playing small with your greatness is a grand act of betrayal, not only to yourself and your family, but to the world at large that craves the benefit of your mastery. So, why not make today the first day of your best life? the day you release your chains, the day you shatter your limits, the day you own your power, the day you discover your talents, the day you stoke your fire, the day you multiply your dreams, the day you let go of your past, the day you make victory your new normal. Forgive me, I should introduce myself in case you don't know me or are not familiar with my work. My name's Робин Шарма, and my devotion is to serve, to inspire, to encourage, and to uplift. And for the past 17 years, I've helped over 10 million people in over 100 nations break free from any form of average in their lives so they can rise to the realm of exceptional and play in the bright light of uncommon success. I've written #1 global bestsellers like The Leader Who Had No Title and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And I've had the awesome privilege to advise clients like Nike, FedEx, Coca-Cola, GE, Starbucks, Oracle, Microsoft, and many, many other top firms of elite achievers. My success strategies and exceptional performance tools are used by superstars ranging from John Bon Jovi and Taylor Swift to NBA legends and members of royalty and many of the most famous business titans on the planet. Helping people do world-class work, achieve personal mastery in their lives, and live in a way they adore is my mission, my fuel, and my oxygen. Inspiring so-called ordinary people to make quantum leaps in their mindset, productivity, performance, happiness, and influence in the world is what I've donated the best years of my life to. The ideas and techniques I teach are for real people who want real results so they make a real difference within their personal lives and for the benefit of the larger community around them. And so with fierce dedication and sincere devotion, I've created this very special video for you to move you to make this day the first day of your best life. You're smart, talented, and excellent. So you get that a life truly can change with a single decision. Of course, ultra-successful people then spend the rest of their lives maintaining and building on that single life-changing decision. Because as you know, nothing works until you commit to doing the work. Forget the quick fixes and superficial gimmicks. The truth is that you absolutely can live an epic life and experience legendary levels of success if you learn a new way of thinking, better ways of performing, and the techniques that the highest achievers in the world have discovered. But installing these new mindsets and daily habits takes consistency and commitment until you wire them in as automatic ways of being. I'll come back to this idea later, but for now, please simply remember that all change is a little hard at first, a little messy in the middle, and totally gorgeous at the end. Okay, I've shared some of the first principles on radically elevating the output within your life. And I've reminded you that you've been born into genius, so please never accept any form of average. So now let's shift gears from the bigger ideas to daily execution so we get you to some swift results. Because inspiration without execution is pure delusion. Ideas without action are fantasy and a complete waste of your finest hours. Now, I want to walk you through 5 of the most important ideas that my clients have used to realize epic success in the important areas of their lives. Number 1, know that the single fastest way to transform your thinking is to transform your behavior. Powerful idea here, so I'll repeat it again. The single fastest way to transform your thinking is to transform your behavior. In other words, it's much more effective to change the way you think by first changing the way you act than to try to change the way you act by changing the way you think. Recent research confirms that the brain is a lot more like a muscle than previously understood. Neuroscientists call the phenomenon neuroplasticity, and it actually speaks to the fact that by practice and behaving in newer and better ways, we can actually make the brain stronger, like other muscles. And when key parts of the brain become stronger, our performance and achievement levels explode. Also important for us to know are the latest findings that the seat of personal willpower and self-discipline lie in a section of the brain called the prefrontal cortex. By acting in new ways and practicing new behaviors like exercising, learning, speaking positive words, doing things that scare us, and doing excellent versus average work, the density of the prefrontal cortex increases. And automatically, we have more willpower and inner strength that raises the success of other areas of our lives as well. So please just remember that starting new habits and ways of performing today begins the process of installing a whole new sequence of winning thinking patterns. And when you practice these habits of excellence for 66 days, according to the groundbreaking research at University College of London, they become automatic. You no longer even have to think about them. It'll become easier to do these new things than not to do them. And all the energy that it took to wire in these habits is then freed up to do other things. Another way to look at point number one, about it being smarter to act your way into a new way of thinking versus think your way into a new way of acting, is this. Practice being spectacular long enough, and being spectacular will become your default mindset and regular way of being. Okay, execution insight number 2. And I promised you I'd come back to this one a little bit earlier. Please remember that transformation is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. So many of us watch an inspiring video or attend a training conference or register for an online course, but after a week we feel the discomfort of change, so we think we're doing something wrong, and we give up, returning to the safe confines of our safety zones. But the truth is that our growth and progress come through having the guts to experience some short-term discomfort in hot pursuit of long-term happiness, success, and fulfillment. If it's not a little hard at the beginning, you're not making real changes or real progress. And if it's not a little messy at first, you're not really reaching for the genius, mastery, and world-class life that I deeply believe is your birthright. It's always a little confusing and messy when you let go of your old ways of behaving and living and are in the process of creating new personal stories and a life that amazes people. But this is how you change, and this is how you grow, and this is how you win. And please also remember that everything you now find easy, you once found hard. So make the leap today and start making some new decisions that will shift the course of the way you work, live, and occur in the world. You don't have to feel like making the changes. It's a myth that exceptional producers wait until they feel inspired to do amazing things. No, they just start. Because a large part of the secret of winning is beginning. And they just do what needs to be done, even if they feel frightened or tired or confused or bored. Okay, execution insight number 3. Live in the future and dismiss your past. The only value of the past is what it has taught you to make your future even better. All exceptional performers use the past as a tool to serve their productivity and as a vehicle to generate even more success. You know you'll spend the rest of your life in your future, so why not invest your focus and energy in making that universe amazing versus worrying about the things you have zero power to change? Here's a key idea from brain science I want to introduce you to. The part of your brain responsible for writing is connected to the part of the brain that drives motor function. That means that if you write the things you want to become or achieve each day, you'll dramatically shift your behavior and performance levels each day. One of the success tools that I teach that has delivered rapid results for our clients is the 5-minute fantasy. Each morning, while the rest of the world is asleep, take 5 minutes to write a 1-paragraph statement about the way you want your day to unfold. Or a 1-paragraph statement about how you would be living if you were living at your best. Or write about your fantasy about the material and physical life you want. Or 1 paragraph on the person you've always dreamed of becoming. I suggest you get into the habit of dreaming on paper every morning for 5 minutes. Building this morning routine will, within a few weeks, create major shifts in your energy levels, self-confidence, and productivity. And so, your future will rise to the realm of world class. And you'll feel so much more inspired to do what needs to be done to have the future you've always wanted to have. And I know you get this, but you build your future by what you do today. Execution strategy number 4. The words you speak predict the future you'll live. So related to the construction of a gorgeous future that we just talked about is this idea. Your words have extraordinary power to shape your decisions, choices, and actions. Science is showing that language drives behavior. Speak like a victim, and you'll program your powerful subconscious mind to produce mediocrity, failure, and even illness. Talk like an elite performer on the playing field of life, and you'll instruct your unconscious mind to install the habits of mastery, fearlessness, and outright greatness. What I'm suggesting is people's words reflect their beliefs. Just listen to a person who's stuck in life speak. They talk about problems and other people, and everything's a drama. They use phrases like, I'm in trouble, or I'm not a morning person, or I've always had bad luck, or I can't do this. Then just listen to a person who works at world class and lives at legendary. They speak of possibilities and their dreams and brave ideas and their personal gratefulness. They talk of I can versus I can't. They discuss their abilities and gifts. They speak of hope and strength and passion and generosity. And by speaking of what they want, as well as who they wish to become, they develop the interior life and the personal bravery to create it. Okay, execution strategy number 5. To double your success, triple your dedication to personal development and professional learning. I call this the 2x, 3x mindset. The elite performers I've served as the private advisor to all have one thing in common. They understand that investing in learning and knowing more and elevating their productivity, performance, and acumen is not a cost. It's an investment. Warren Buffett taught me to think about the return on investment versus the amount something costs. I'll repeat that again because it's a mission-critical strategy for rare air success. Focus on the value you'll receive versus the cost you'll pay. In my experience, investing in your personal development and professional learning gives you a return on your investment of over 100 times your initial investment. Average performers invest in entertainment and leisure. They spend their money on big TVs and an endless array of distractions designed to medicate their deeper boredom. Exceptional producers invest in education and learning. They spend their money on building big libraries, going to educational conferences, and on courses and programs that teach them better ways of thinking, creating, producing, and living. They run the 2x, 3x mindset, which means the best way to double your income is to triple your investment in personal development and professional education. In my 17 years, I've learned that this one strategy is one of the ultimate game changers. All it takes is a single new idea, properly acted upon with focus and consistency, to take your life in a radically different direction. All it takes is one new piece of information to radically elevate your confidence, performance, and influence in the world. Okay, so I hope these ideas I've so passionately shared has helped. I truly wish that you'll act on this information today and not wait until the fearful part we all have within us starts to make excuses and come up with reasons not to do the things we need to do to become the people we've dreamed of being. And if you're really ready to produce work that wows people and become the single most productive person you know, and to rise to your most powerful self and experience the success that only very few people in the world will ever experience, I have a very special opportunity I'm delighted to share with you.